This is my next monthly update video. Sorry for having it at the end of the month compared to how I used to end up doing it a lot sooner, but yeah, things happen and it just is what it is when didn't have a chance to do it until now. So yeah, so what's been actually happening this last month with my transition, actually physically with this body, the first thing is the electrolysis appointment. The last one actually got rid of the bulk of a lot of the hairs that we're having issues with, except for there's like a few hairs like here and like around here. It's like on my neck, somewhere around here, and just a few through here and here is what I was able to find. So the last treatment really worked. So I'm gonna have to make another appointment to get more electrolysis done until the hair is actually gone. We'll continue to do so. So other than that, what has been happening is one thing that I mentioned in my last video, like previous videos, what's been going on down there, that pain I've been having. What's been happening is for the last 3 months or so, I've been having pain, and I wanted to wait to see if the pain would go away, because usually that's what happens. But because the pain didn't go away, I have to had to contact the doctors, the one that specifically deals with the dilation. So they set up an appointment with the urologist, the one who worked on the urethral part of my revision surgery. He's the one I have the appointment with to get. What they're going to do is the appointments for a scope test to actually check inside my vaginal canal to find out what's going on, because what's been actually happening is I was having pain. So what you're supposed to usually do with the pain to get it to go away, like if you have stinging, like burning or itching or some pain and whatnot, you're supposed to do self-stimulation to let the nerves know it's okay to be touched. So what I decided to do was use a vibrating toy, because that's one of the things you're supposed to use to help with things. But what happened was I ended up bleeding. I let that heal, which the bleeding stopped quickly. The second time, because the pain didn't fully go away, it kind of subsided, but then it came back. So I decided to try it again with the same toy. I ended up bleeding again. Then the bleeding stopped quickly. So then I was like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on, why this is happening. So I contacted them. They set up an appointment, but then because the appointment's further out than I wanted it to be, it's on the 10th is when the appointment is. So I'm sitting here waiting 2-3 weeks for the appointment, for about a month or so. And I'm like, this is getting frustrating because I need to get it checked quicker than what is happening, because the pain isn't going away. So I have the appointment set up. Then, not 2 days ago, but yeah, 4 days ago, I ended up dilating this last week. And when I got done dilating, I was still having the pain. And on the dilator, the tip of the dilator, it looked more like a gooey fluid, because you're supposed to use water-based lubricant with it, but it was kind of discolored. So when I wiped everything clean, like I usually do, so it doesn't drip everywhere when I'm done dilating, there was a yellowish discolor in with the fluids. So I'm like, so I had to contact them to update some information so they know what's going on. And I'm sitting here stuck waiting for that appointment on the 10th to find out what's going on, why I'm having this pain and randomly having bleeding or an off color when dilating. And it's only when I'm dilating. It's the back of my canal on the right side. It's been hurting with pain, and the whole, from the very back end, the whole entire side. It's like if this was the canal and this was like the back, like it would be through the whole side up to the labia. It's where I've been having the issues, where it's been hurting, burning, stinging randomly, and when dilating and or using a toy. And it's frustrating because where my fluidity is at, my fluid sexuality, it sucks right now because I've been wanting actual physical penetration. It's where my fluidity is at, but at the same time, because my fluid sexuality, at times it can actually have those other feelings. Like the best way I can describe is like asexuality at the same time of wanting penetration, because I want it, but at the same time I don't feel like up to it, but my body's really wanting it. And at the same time I'm scared that it's going to cause more damage and more pain and more bleeding than what I'm already having. And it's frustration and a struggle to take care of that part of my health right now, not knowing with this unexplained pain and random bleeding whenever I use a dilator or a toy when that happens, not fully knowing what's going on, this unexplained pain. Yeah, it's really frustrating. And I'm putting this out there because, and talking about it because it's something that should be talked about more within trans women, like post-op trans women, and cis women who experience pain, like vaginal pain with penetration for any reason, because it's not talked about as often as it should be. And the knowledge behind it and whatnot, and everything we end up having to go through because of it, which is, it's really frustrating right now because I have to wait for that appointment to get checked out, because it's for a scope test to figure out what's going on. They're gonna, because the message I got saying it's at my appointment, they're gonna figure out and check to see what's going on. Hopefully it's nothing bad, but it is what it is at this moment, and so I just have to do the best I can until then. My dilation schedule is still the same, every other day for 30 minutes or more. So this morning it was very uncomfortable dilating. It was causing pain, burning, stinging, to the point where I couldn't go past a certain point, and I had to stop dilating because it was becoming really, really painful. Like the burning sensation was really painful. But when I'm not dilating, I have that pressure at the back of the canal to get to depth at the 5th dot of the orange dilator. The pain and everything seems to subside throughout an hour or so, but today I've just been feeling it a lot longer than I usually do. So yeah, and on top of it, my body's been really sensitive, and because my body has been a lot like hypersensitive to touch, that's making the pain even worse, and how I'm feeling all of this even worse. So yeah, other than that, I'm still having physical changes from the HRT and whatnot. The thing is, this last month I've been having really bad breast pain. Like my hormone cycle's still doing the 10-day thing with all the cramps and bloating and everything. Like hormonally, time of the month, I can say 10 days. And that's part of what's helping my breasts finish growing, but they've been doing a lot of filling in. I can't say they're going up a cup size yet, but I can say they have been filling in, and it's been really painful. I mean, to the point where there was points where I ended up wanting to cry. It's how painful it's been, especially when I feel on the right side over the left, because when I feel on the right side, like this side, it feels like it hurts worse the way it feels compared to when I feel on this side, that kind of pain. But in my mind, it's still worth it because it's still helping with my dysphoria, because the worst dysphoria I had was when I didn't have them. My chest was like flatter than a flat. And yeah, but since they have gone to where they're at, I don't really have that dysphoria, but I don't want them smaller. It seems like every time they get bigger and fuller, I don't want them to become smaller, because I know that would cause dysphoria. But there's a point, if they get too big, I thought in the past it might cause dysphoria, but at this point it really isn't. So I just don't want them to be smaller, and I want them to continue growing and filling in and end up where they're going to end up. And when I took my last measurements, nothing's really changed in my body measurements. It's just they're much fuller is what's going on. They're actually filling in where it was underdeveloped or not fully filled in where they should have been a long time ago. The best way I can like show what they currently look like, the actual size, it's the best way I can show. Yeah, so yeah, that's the best way I'm able to really show what they actually look like. So yeah, they're still filling in. I'm happy about it. And yeah, yeah, other than that, what's going on is pretty much still the same cup size, just more fullness. Because last I took my measurements, my band is still a 32. Even now, whenever I go to get sizing done, they keep trying to put me to 34, which a 34 is too big for my body by experience. And my cup size is still an H, which it's frustrating sometimes, because right now, currently, because I gained the fullness, it was the balconette style bras that cover less, aren't really fitting anymore because the fullness, because the cup style is what fits your fullness, and I'm much fuller than I was, so those bras aren't fitting right. So a lot of my other bras that weren't fitting right, that were a little more full coverage, are fitting right now, all but one. But it's because the way that bra was designed. I still don't have enough up here to fully fill that one in, but even though it's in my size, more demi bras are fitting a lot better, and t-shirts like styles that are more towards the fuller coverage and whatnot seem to be fitting better. Other than that, no other real huge physical changes within my body. Anything else I can think of besides that? No other physical real changes within this body of mine. The only thing that really comes to mind is hormonally time of the month. Weight fluctuation has been fluctuating a lot more than what it used to in the past, because in the past it used to be like within 1 or 2 pounds, and now it's a more like 4 or 5 pound difference fluctuation. Since my last hormone cycle, when I checked my weight and it's gone back to normal, I've gained, the actual weight gain I've gained, it's probably mostly from up here, and it's a couple of, because the last I measured, weighed myself, it was 143.3. Then my hormone cycle happened, which was about 147 to 149 point, like 8-ish or something like that. Then went back down to normal after hormonally my time in the month. Now it's, last I checked, it was 143.6. Last I checked, yeah. So I've gained a little bit. Not enough to make a difference, but most of it's been up through here, I've noticed, is where most of the weight. And the biggest thing I've noticed since that's filled in, when not wearing a bra, they're more bouncy and jiggly when going up and down stairs, which is painful if it's non-sexual. Yeah, not comfortable. When I've been waking up in the morning, it's when I actually get up and like sit up and or stand up from a laying down position, I've noticed I feel the actual weight of them now, and I'm not used to the fullness, so it's kind of uncomfortable. So yeah, and laying down, I've noticed the fullness, which, how I said in the past, I don't really want them to go up. I don't want them to go down. I just want them to stay the size they are. But as the fullness has been increasing, the way I've been feeling is I want them to get to where they need to get to and be done at this point. If they go up a cup size, 2 cup sizes, 3 cup sizes, that's what's going to happen. I just want them to be finished on growing where they're going to end up being when that happens. No matter how big or how full they are, as long as they don't go down in size at this point. So, but frustrations that come with it, bras, trying to find ones that fit me properly in bigger sizes in a smaller band. Yeah, that's a struggle I still think about if I end up going up a cup size. Yeah, having to deal with that because the brand I've been buying from the last 3 or so years hasn't added more cup sizes in my band. So I'm stuck at a 32H in that brand, unless I go with a different company if I go up a size. Again, further bigger sizes, so it is what it is. And nothing I can really do about it at this point until reach that point if it happens. But as long as I continue gaining the fullness and not actually go up a cup size, I can manage for now. So yeah, that's the biggest things that's been going on with my transition. Other than that, just have to wait until that appointment to find out what's actually going on down there, and just deal with the pain and uncomfortableness until these stop growing and filling in and the pain's resolved down there. Yeah, other than that, we'll see you in my next video when that happens. So until then, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until then,